Hey, y'all, good evening. I hope everybody's doing well. I want to thank Stephanie for letting me do this workshop, this video this evening. I am Tonetta Clay. Of course, I'm a certified life coach, and I teach people how to think bigger than they are, and of course, and how to and empower them to become who they want to be. And of course, tonight the video is talking about becoming yourself. The reason why I chose this topic is a lot of things going on behind the scenes of me as well. There's a lot of things going on. We had a death in the family, and the services are tomorrow. And it caused me to think last week, who am I still trying to become? What is my purpose? What am I doing here on earth? And some of you all may have seen, I'm actually reading the book, The Purpose Driven Life, on my page, actually, so that I can gain more clarity and those kind of things as far as purpose, not just for myself, but for those I'm around as well, and for those who I want to help as well. So like I said, that's a little bit about me as far as why I'm doing this video tonight. But like I said, definitely becoming yourself. I know this has been a journey. I guess I put it that way. Miss Stephanie asked for me to come on to, of course, talk about myself, my journey, and of course, where I'm at now, what's going on, that kind of thing. I'm 45 and a half actually now, but like I said, it's definitely been a journey since I've been here on this earth. I'm not sure if some of you women can relate or not, but I know growing up for me was just a bunch of chaos and drama. I can't say the entire time, I cannot say that, but at least 50% of the time I can say that. Like I said, for me, I've always been the kind of person who have always seen outside the box or outside the environment that I've ever lived in. Growing up in the household, since I was a kid, I don't know what, 2, 3 years old, I've seen my parents to some kind of aspect use some type of drug or alcohol, that kind of thing as well, or both at the same time. Both my parents are now deceased. My dad actually died of a heroin overdose, actually, about 15 years ago. My mother passed away when I was about 21 years old with cervical cancer. So, of course, I didn't get a chance to, of course, grow up with them and know what caused all the issues that they were going through. There was domestic violence in the household. My dad beat my mom all the time. Like I said, there was drug use. I know they were addicted to crack cocaine. I know what it smelled like now. I guess I put it that way, since I've gotten older and those kind of things. But like I said, definitely, there was a lot of substances they were using, a lot of things that were just chaotic. And like I said, for me, I've always been the kind of person who wanted to, of course, be better than my environment. I guess I put it that way. It wasn't that I was trying to, of course, be better than, say, I'm better than you because I do this and you do that. That wasn't the case at all. I just saw all the things that I did not want in life, and I wanted to create the life that I wanted. I guess I put it that way. Like I said, that's why this is called becoming yourself. Like I said, I had to learn who Tonetta was. It took me a long time, like I said, but definitely I'm still in the process of learning. To me, becoming is not a destination that you get to. It is a process. And like I said, I had to realize that. And for some reason, I knew that, like I said, as a young kid growing up, like I said, my focus was always on becoming something better than what I saw around me, because I didn't want to go down those same paths of being on drugs or being addicted to alcohol or gambling or anything along those lines. I wanted to do something different than everybody else was doing around me. And like I said, I took on that challenge as a kid very, very early on, before I even got to first grade, I guess I put it that way. And like I said, yes, I was made fun of. Yes, I was called all types of names. I'm trying to be white, or I'm trying to impress the white people, or whatever it was. I'm trying to be an Uncle Tom, whatever it was, because the school I went to was actually a predominantly white school. I'm here in St. Louis. I went to Parkway School District from first grade to 12th grade, actually. So of course it was mostly predominantly white, especially when I first started. Through like middle school, high school, of course, more black kids were coming, that kind of thing. But like I said, I knew that I took on a task that I knew that I was going to be ridiculed for. I guess, I didn't know to what extent. I guess I put it that way. But like I said, I definitely was going on a path that I knew at some point that I was going to be, which I was, made fun of, ridiculed by those in my neighborhood. I cannot say everybody, but by a few specific folks, was always made fun of because I'm trying to be white, I'm trying to talk white, I'm trying to do all this stuff. And like I've always told everybody, I'm trying to become myself, and I had no idea what I was saying back then. I'm trying to be who I am. I'm trying to learn who I am. I'm trying to do the things that I think is right for my own life, considering what I saw on TV, like with the Cosby Show growing up, or with the Travel Channel growing up, that kind of thing. I saw all those things, all those places, all those folks that I knew I could be. And like I said, that's what I tried to create in my life, I guess I put it that way, because that was the only kind of I can't say, well, I guess I can say kind of role models, I guess you can say, or visions or imagination, that kind of thing. That's where I got those things from. Wanting to be a doctor and all those types of things. That was actually a doctor and a lawyer. That was actually some of the things that I said back when I was younger. I think on the Cosby Show, the father was the doctor and the mom was the lawyer. And of course, like I said, which I've genuinely always had an interest in medicine and law. I still do. But like I said, definitely seeing all those things on TV and seeing what's possible, I had to push myself to the limits. And like I said, that's just the kind of person that I always have been, and I still am. And people ask, why do I drive so hard? Why do I push myself so hard? Why do I go at this so hard? I always have one of everything I've always done hard like that. Like I said, I know what I'm trying to be. I know well, to some extent, I know what I'm trying to create myself out of. And I knew that all the things that I knew growing up and learned growing up in the environment that I was in was not going to cut it. It was not going to get me the things that I thought I was going to do and that I needed in my life. I was looking, of course, the only thing I had was school. School, of course, helped me get from, like I said, first grade all the way into a college degree in social work. Like I said, I definitely had to make sure that I did something that was different than those around me. Well, my mom and dad, my dad, I think he took a few college courses, but neither one of them, of course, actually got a college degree, that kind of thing. So I was the first in that particular generation, actually in a few other generations that, of course, got a college degree and that kind of thing as well. Like I said, I pushed myself to the limits. I was a straight A, had a few B's students. Like I said, I definitely had to make sure that I used school as my outlet. That's all that I had, considering going home, hearing beating every day, seeing my mom using drugs and smoking and drinking and all these kind of things. I had to do something different, and I knew that I had to push myself, like I said, to the limits. And like I said, I still do that now. And like I said, that's what I want to talk to y'all about tonight, about becoming yourself. If you are wanting to become yourself, or the person that you know that you can be, I know back then, let me get some water, y'all. I know back then growing up, I didn't know, I still don't know fully what I want to do and what I want to be, the purpose and all that kind of stuff, but I know I'm moving in the right direction. I know that everything that I've done throughout my entire life is setting me up for that big show. I guess I guess I put it that way. And like I said, all the times growing up and that kind of thing, like I said, we definitely have to think about all the things that we've been learning, we have to unlearn. I guess I put it that way. And like I said, on my journey to becoming and that kind of thing as well. And becoming, I know folks have been talking about that a lot lately. Well, for me, a lot lately. But that really means just becoming, learning who you are, and of course presenting that to the world. I guess I put it that way. If you're wanting to, and also creating the whatever kind of purpose, I guess you're here on this life for, whatever kind of gifts that you have, also tapping into those things to help create the person that you know that you can be. To me, that's what becoming is. And like I said, all throughout my life, I had no idea I knew what the word purpose meant. I think all of us know what the word purpose meant, but I had no idea what it meant for my life. All I saw was, like I said, a bunch of things going on, the chaos going on. I'm losing folks in the family. I'm losing folks to friends and people that I knew to gang violence and all this kind of stuff, whether they're being killed or whether they're going to jail. All types of stuff was going on. And like I said, I just knew that I did not want to become what they had done in those communities, which didn't really get them far either to jail or to their death, is all that I saw. And like I said, I definitely want to create myself out, I guess, to be something better than that. Like I said, I'm not comparing myself to everybody else. I just did not want to do what they did because I knew that wasn't the life that was for me. Back a long time ago, I was about 10 years old, I think. I had a dream that I was, of course, on stage speaking in front of all these people. It was like hundreds of people out there the way it looked. I could not hear any sounds. Like all I see was like my mouth. Well, I could tell my mouth was moving and I was speaking. I saw people, of course, oh my God, crying. Some were laughing, all these kind of things. And I knew then that it was something that I had to, of course, pursue in this life. I guess I put it that way. I knew that was going to be something that I was going to use in order to become the person that I know God put me on this earth for. I guess I put it that way as well. And like I said, if you're looking to, of course, figure out who you are, the first step, of course, is to figure out who you are, to figure out what kind of person, what makes you up. I guess I put it that way. I had to go on this same journey just to let you all know. That's why I'm able to tell y'all these things as far as finding out who I am in order to create the person that I know I wanted to become, finding out who I was, what kind of things made me, my environment, my parents, my family, and the people that I knew, the things that I've been through, the traumas and the dramas, what my values and what my beliefs were, my boundaries were, all those things. Like I said, I had to stop and just stop and try to get myself out of that survival mode, living day to day and that kind of thing, and figure out what the heck I wanted out of this life and who was I? Why was I here? And like I said, I went on that journey several years ago. But like I said, definitely that is the first step in any process to becoming the person that you want to become. Just keep that in mind, y'all. Like I said, I know there's a lot of mothers here, of course, that have children and that I might one or more, that kind of thing. And I know that you're probably wondering how in the world you're going to create the legacy for yourself and your family and your children, so they can see that a mother, that you're doing some positive things, some good things, being the person that you can be in this world. But like I said, the first step will always be figuring out who you are first. Like I said, I know a lot of folks don't want to sit with themselves and figure out who they are and tell themselves the hard truths about they can't talk to people, that they don't have good communication skills, or they always get angry, and why am I always getting angry, all these kind of things, and just taking responsibility for all the things that's going on in your life. I know a lot of folks don't want to hear that. I didn't even want to hear that, but I had to hear that stuff. Like I said, I definitely did not want to hear that, but I had to hear it in order for me to grow. Like I said, there was one thing that, of course, this happened, well, I'm this way because of my father, or I'm this way because of my mother, or I'm this way because of the environment I was in. I had to stop blaming those things in order to, of course, push myself ahead, in order for me to grow at some point. 18, 20, whatever age I was, I had to start taking responsibility, because after a certain age, regardless as to what happened to you, you have to start taking responsibility of whatever your life was created up to that point, in order to create something different. Is how I see the world and how I see people and how I build people. I guess I put it that way as well. And like I said, the first step is always figuring out who you are, y'all. Like I said, there's a lot of things that, of course, make you up, and you have to kind of sit, like I said, sit down, sit quiet with yourself, try to figure out what makes you up. If you don't know where you've been, you don't know what kind of lessons you've learned, you don't know why you had to learn those lessons, you will not know how to move forward in your life. And that's the mantra, I guess, I live by. Having a vision for my life, having a vision for what I've been through, and having a vision for my future, I guess, to figure out how I'm going to create those things. And like I said, those are the things I had to go through as well, trying to figure out who I was. I wasn't that girl that you saw in a magazine, or I wasn't that girl that you saw going to school every day or going to work every day. I knew I was way much more than that. I knew that. I didn't know how, I just knew that. But like I said, I knew I had to create some other things in my life to, of course, bring those things out in me. A lot of y'all may not be able to tell now, but back in the day, from, probably grade school on up to early college, like late high school, early college, actually. Well, actually, just high school. I used to stutter very, very, very badly. Couldn't get the words out. People used to make fun of me all the time. Like I said, I had that dream. I knew that I was supposed to speak in some kind of capacity, in some type of way. But like I said, I knew I was stuttering and all these kind of things, and I had to improve my speech. And like I said, I knew in order for me to, of course, become that speaker that I saw in my dreams, because I always, even though I didn't believe in God back then, I've always known that God, the angels, or any other guys that I have, of course, was leading my life and was showing me how my life was going to turn out to some extent. And like I said, I knew that if I had that dream, that even though I said I didn't believe in God, but I was believing in some kind of higher power, to know that that dream meant something. That dream meant that I was going to be doing those things at some point in time. And I am now doing those things at some point in time. And like I said, I knew that I had to get myself together. As far as my speech, I know I still talk fast nowadays, but that's okay. But I'm at least speaking without stuttering too much and that kind of thing, and able to get the words out and able to explain and learn and teach and all these kind of things as well. And like I said, in order for me to become a speaker or speaking on anything, I had to, of course, work on my speech. And like I said, finding out who you are and what you are what you're made of, you're going to have to figure out those things. You're going to have to walk yourself through those processes, as far as, what are my values? What are my beliefs? What kind of things do I believe? What are my limiting beliefs? All those types of things. What kind of trauma have I been through? What are my triggers? Why am I getting triggered because somebody said something to me that I thought was wrong and disrespectful, when in theory it was not wrong and disrespectful? I was triggered a lot. I had a horrible temper, y'all. Like I said, y'all may not see that now, but like I said, years ago, I had a very, very bad temper. I was sent to anger management classes twice. And like I said, I was just jumping out the car and everybody howling and yelling, all this kind of stuff. Like I said, you can't see it now because I had to work on those things. That was part of who I was. That was part of something that was, of course, created within me from the environment that I was seeing in the environment that I was in. And I knew that if I wanted to, of course, hold down a job, continue going to school, to college, or anything else, or even have a romantic relationship, that I could no longer sit there and keep howling and yelling and cursing at folks and doing all this stuff and having all this bad temper, that I had to work on those things. Like I said, I didn't want to sit down myself and work on those things either. That's why I was sent to anger management twice. And like I said, I definitely had to go take those classes twice. And the second time it hit me, this is what I need to work on in my own little way, but this is what I needed to work on. And like I said, becoming who you want to be, becoming the person that you see, the person that I saw was the speaker, was of course the person that was an advocate. Well, I've had all kinds of dreams, but of course being an advocate for other folks, of course that's why I'm a social worker now. Of course making sure that I'm of course building people, trying to build people up, because I know everybody has strengths, regardless of what you all may see, somebody homeless or whatever it is. It does not matter. They have something positive, they have a purpose, and they have strengths as well. I'm sure that everybody does. And like I said, that was something that I've always believed, but you have to believe that inside of you all as well. And like I said, that's something that you have to start believing, I guess I put it that way, in order for you to, of course, figure out who you are and who you're trying to become in this world, y'all. Like I said, I know I've talked on this many a times, but this is you all's first time hearing this. And like I said, definitely this is something that I hold near and dear to my heart, because I know a lot of people out here, I see a lot of folks all the time. I've been in social work for over 22 years, I think now. And a coach for, 2.5 years now. And seeing people, of course, out here living in this world, trying to keep up with the Joneses and trying to, of course, buy the next pair of shoes and the next purse or get the next hairdo, or trying to, of course, look like the girl next door because you think she got money and all these kind of things, and oh, she's cute, and or he's whatever the case may be. And like I said, I see people living a life all the time that's not even their life. And that, like I said, that really bothers me. And like I said, I know that we can be the people that we want to be. I know there's a lot of folks out there scared to be who they want to be because of what others may say about them and all those types of things. Like I said, I went through it as well. So trust me, I know how you feel. But at some point, you're going to get sick and tired of being sick and tired, and being sick and tired of trying to, of course, keep up with the Joneses, trying to, of course, be the person that you know that you're not. That you're not even that person at all. Be the person that everybody else thinks that you're a smart. You're doing all these things, but behind the scene, you're depressed, you're upset, you're angry, you're tired of parenting, you're tired of taking care of the kids, you're stressed out, you're trying to be strong, and you have no idea how to even ask for help anymore. Like I said, at some point you'll get to a point where you're sick and tired of being sick and tired. That's the point that I got to as well before I start trying to figure out who I was. Like I said, I got to a point where I was just like about to lose my mind. I knew I was unhappy. I knew things had to change. And that was my first step in trying to figure out what I needed to do in my life. Trying to figure out who I was. Because without, like I said, figuring out knowing who you are, knowing yourself, you cannot move forward to, of course, create anything in this world. This is not even talking about God and spirituality, that kind of thing. Yes, that is also included in this. But like I said, the first step is always figuring out who you are as a woman. And like I said, that's something that a lot of folks don't want to sit quiet with themselves to do. I had to sit quiet for several months, actually. Up all times of the night, writing and journaling and coloring and trying to get my thoughts out, doing videos. I did everything. I damn near everything on live video on Facebook, actually. Most of those videos are on YouTube now. Living on YouTube, my story, my journey, the things I was going through and the processes and all those types of things. Me telling my story for about 1.5 years straight. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Even though I knew there was family listening, that I was sexually abused back when I was under 5 years old. I knew that side of my family was listening as well. It's rampant on that side, actually. And I knew that they were listening. I knew my mom and I knew my mom and dad's, both sides of my family was, of course, listening. I did get a few messages, I guess I put it that way. Why am I telling this? Why am I telling that? Just like you were told when you were a kid, keep things within the family. Don't talk about this outside the household. That shit kills you. I'm cursed. I'm sorry, Stephanie. But like I said, all that stuff kills you, and it can kill you. I mean physically kill you. Stress, aneurysm, strokes, depression, suicide. I have been suicidal at some point as well. Actually, a few times. Depressing, those kind of things. Keeping all those things inside, those things will kill you. If it doesn't kill you physically, it'll kill your whole entire soul to make you feel like you're just a victim on every single thing that you do. That's why it's imperative that you figure out who you are and what makes you up as a person. I don't want to keep seeing people out here struggling, trying to figure out who they are, trying to be like her, the next person, because all they see is the facade that these folks are putting on and have no idea what's going on behind the closed doors. I want to see you be yourself. If you're being yourself, I don't care what kind of sexual orientation you have or what kind of voice you may have, you curse, you do this, whatever it is, just as long as you start being yourself and becoming yourself, redesigning your life, reinventing your life. You can always do that at any age. I don't care if you're 80 years old, you can do that at any age. Actually, speaking about 80s, when I was back in college getting my bachelor's degree, one of my English classes, there was an older woman in the class, and I was the only one that was, of course, brave enough to go up and speak to her, figure out what she was doing in class, what was going on, why she was there, because I thought she was a teacher or the assistant or that kind of thing. And I forgot her name, but I think she was 82 or 83 years old. She said she had always promised herself back before her husband even passed away that she was going to, of course, complete a college degree, and that's what she was doing. She told me she was in her last semester, and that was one of her last classes that she had to pass in order to get that darn bachelor's degree. And like I said, there is no age limit to anything in life. You can become who you are every single year if you wanted to. Until you die, you can do that all you want to. There is no perfect age. There is no perfect time. There is no perfect anything to start figuring out who you are in order to get your life together. I had to realize that as well. It was a hard realization, but I, of course, had to realize that as well. I'm 45 and a half years old. I'll be 46 in September, and I'm still becoming who I want to be. Like I said, it's not a destination for me. It's a journey. It's a process. I'm a lifelong learner. I know some of y'all may have seen the post that Stephanie posted in here the other day. I'm always reading. I'm always learning, trying to figure out who I am and what I'm trying to, of course, I guess figuring out my purpose and why I'm here and what I'm trying to create and those kind of things. I'm always in those moments. Like I said, it wasn't always like that. I was in survival mode a lot of times throughout my life. Living day to day in unhappy relationships, been cheated on, had to get divorced and all this kind of stuff, then get with somebody else acting a damn fool, just walking on eggshells. I've been through the whole nine. And like I said, I had to figure out who I was in order to get what I wanted out of my own life. And then actually at that point, it did include spirituality. That was just, 4 or 5 years ago. Because I was atheist before then. I knew there was always a higher power, I guess I'll put it that way, or something that was guiding my life. And I always tried to, of course, avoid it, saying it's not this, it's not that. That's not the case. This is not the case. Ain't no God. God wouldn't put me through these horrible situations to see my mom being beat or my dad using drugs, my dad dying, my mom dying. I lost my grandmother, lost all my friends, all this kind of stuff going on. God will not put me through those things. That was my mindset back then. Up until, like I said, 4 or 5 years ago. I now know that everything God put me through and the higher power that I know that was behind me the whole time, put me through, was setting me up for something bigger in life. I didn't see it then because all I saw was I was upset, so damn upset and angry at everything and everybody, including myself, hated myself as well, that I could not even see past anything else. But just the hatred that I had in my heart all those decades, I put it that way. The bitterness, the resentment, all those types of things. No God should ever want to put me through those things. If God says he loves me and this kind of thing, that was my mindset, why am I going through these things then? But like I said, I had to realize that when I was going through my becoming yourself process, trying to figure out who I was, why am I here? Like I said, that was 4 or 5 years ago. Trying to go through that entire process, trying to figure out things. And I saw then that God, because I surrendered to God at that point. It was actually in January, 2018, actually. Surrender, 18, 17, one of those years. I surrendered at that point. And I brought God into my life. I prayed to God one night in January that I was very unhappy, living with somebody that I was sick and tired of, coming home, there's always an argument. I'm being blamed for things. I was not happy. Had other folks there in my household just mooching off me, all these kind of things that I refused to even I did put my foot down in a certain way. I put it that way. It wasn't stern enough. I guess I'd say that. And like I said, I had to make up my mind to decide what am I trying to do? And what am I willing to do to get what the hell I wanted? And I had to let all that go. Some folks like, oh, you've been with this person 7.5 years. I don't care if it was 55 years. His ass had to go in order for me to get myself together. And the family that I had in my household at the time had to go as well. Yes, I still love her to death. I haven't seen her since that time, but that's okay. That was my goddaughter, actually, but she had to go as well. I could no longer sit up there and cater to other folks when I'm losing my life. I'm not even able to live my own life because I'm taking care of everybody else. And like I said, that was the point that I got to. And I surrendered to God on that evening, crying, everything. I was up like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. And over like it wasn't even 2 weeks. January wasn't even over yet. And here I come having all these changes, all these things going on. Like God was just moving the path out my way because I asked. And I said that I love you, God. I believe in you, God. I just want to be happy. And things just started migrating out of my life. In my life, coming into my life and leaving my life. I guess I put it that way at the same time. And like I said, the process that I of course had to, or the experience, I guess people call it an awakening or whatever kind of soul searching, whatever kind of journey you want to call it, is all one and the same. Becoming is all one and the same. You just have to get to a point where you have to make a decision that that's what you want out of your life. And that decision starts with who you are. Trying to figure out who you are. Like I said, what things make you up. Meaning, what kind of environment did you have growing up? What kind of traumas and dramas did you have growing up? And have those things molded your life to put you in the place that you are today? Your values, your beliefs, what kind of things do you hold near and dear to your heart? All those things made you and created you into the person that you are right here in this moment, looking at this video, looking at me say this. And just keep in mind that you can always undo those things. I don't care what age you are, how many kids you may have, what your financial status is, whether you're renting or buying a house. I don't care what it is. That does not even matter. What matters is, what are you willing to do to get what you want and to become the person that you want to become? If you're looking to become, of course, break generational curses and all these types of things, I've done that as well. I'm still in the process of doing so. You can always do that. You just have to make a decision as to what it is that you want to do. And start working that path. You may get a lot of pushback, I'm pretty sure. I did too, and that's okay. I'm still moving forward at this moment as well. I'm still moving forward anyway. Regardless of what anybody else got to say. I know some folks, of course, may not be at that point. May not be able to say no, or may not be able to, of course, care what other folks think about them and that kind of thing. I had to grow into that as well. Which I was always told that I don't care about other folks. I've always loved to care about other folks. I think too much, but that's what folks, of course, with all my anger and stuff like that, that's how folks took me back in the day. But I, of course, had a very big heart for everybody. Still do. But like I said, I know I had to figure out where to draw my boundaries. And that was part of me figuring out who I was. Who was Tonetta. And figuring out what I wanted in life. The way I look at God, no matter what you do, the gifts that God gave you, the purpose that God gave you, and those learning lessons that God gave you, He's right there on the side of you, working your path with you as well, and giving you clues. I'm sure the Holy Spirit along the way as well, because that's how I'm being done. I may not have no idea what tomorrow's going to look like, but I know it's going to look like something. I know it's a new day for me to start something new and to recreate my life on that day. I know that every single morning. It's a time for me to recreate something new every single day. Regardless of what happened yesterday, I don't care what in the world happened yesterday. Could have been a bankruptcy. It could have been a house fire, anything. You have another day tomorrow to start and to create something else new. A whole new attitude, if it's that, thoughts, whatever it is. You have another day to create something new. So there's never too late. It's never a good time. It's never a bad time to get started. It's always a time you just have to make a decision to go ahead and get started. Otherwise, your life is not going to be what you want it to be. If you're wanting to, of course, be a successful mom, have this home business, or whatever kind of business you're looking to do, or have an awesome career, you have to create that person. How do you think you're going to be able to do those things? I had to realize that as well, starting this business, this coaching business. I had nobody besides people selling drugs. I sold drugs for a little point back in the day. That was all that I knew. how to make some good money, I guess I put it that way. Yes, I saw, like I said again, folks on TV making money doing these things, but when I saw the drug selling, it was quick. Money, you buying this, you buying that, but that was just to keep up with the Joneses. Materialistic stuff as I see it now. I didn't sell drugs for that long, but I saw a lot of other folks doing it for a long time, being killed, going to jail, all these types of things going on. And I didn't have anybody that actually had a legit business that I can actually talk to learn things from. I'm doing that now. If I can show y'all my bookcase, I can't even get up and go show y'all all the books. About 2 years ago, I got rid of all the erotica books and all these little romance stories in order to recreate my whole entire bookcase. The book I'm reading now, the Master Key. The Master Key System. I know I was talking about this book the other day on a video. Like I said, I've been trying to redesign my life as much as I can to create I guess the life coach, the speaker, the author now, I guess I put it that way, that I've been trying to become. And I know God is right there with me. But like I said, I had to realize that I have to learn skills in order to become those things. It's not going to just come because you made a wish for it to come, or you want it to come to you like that, or you want to manifest it. You can manifest anything that you want. You have to, of course, think it, of course, and take action on it. If you're not taking any action on it, then you can think it all you want. It's not going to probably come to fruition, I guess I put it that way, until you start taking the action in order to create that thing. I had to start reading books on business, Brian Tracy's books, all kind of folks on business, sales, marketing. I'm a damn marketing and sales genius at this present point. And I guess personal development as well, trying to figure out who I am and who I need to create in order to, of course, get the business I'm trying to create. Yes, I do want to break the mold in my family to become the first successful black, I guess I'm black, but business in my family that's, of course, pushing more than $1 million a year. That is my goal. And it's not the money. Trust me, trust and believe. It's the showing everybody else in my family what is possible and what they can create as well. Those who are babies and those who are older. Yes, the money will be fine. That's fine and dandy, but it has nothing. That's a goal because I know nobody in my family has done it, and I want to be the first to do it. Yes, that's fine. But it's not that I care about the money. I care about what I'm modeling, what these folks are watching me do. From my little cousins on up to my big cousins, aunties, whoever else, to show them what's possible, to show them that you can come from all this chaos and all this drama to create a millionaire, but you have to work for it. And it's not going to just happen overnight. Majority of the time, 99% of the time, it does not happen overnight. I'm only a few years in. May not be until I'm 50. Who knows? But like I said, that is my goal. So that they can know that because I had all this stuff going on back when I was growing up, that does not mean anything about your past. Who cares about the past? You can still create the future that you want. And talk about the past all you want, whatever you want to do. But like I said, your past does not define who you are. Mine definitely isn't. I'm nothing like my past. For those who may have known me back then, know me now, I'm nothing like my past. Like I said, I had to grow into this person. I didn't know this person back then, no. But like I said, I had an inkling of what I was supposed to be and what I was supposed to, of course, get to and what I'm supposed to model and what kind of values I'm supposed to have, what kind of beliefs I'm supposed to have. I had an inkling of those things off and on. I'm sure that was God and the Holy Spirit all the time telling me those things. I'm sure that. And that's why it's so important. Like I said, if you're trying to become yourself, you already know who you are. You already know that. You just have to bring all those things to fruition. You have to unlearn probably a whole lot of things. I had to unlearn a whole lot of things as well in order to become the person that y'all see today. I could have been dead a long time ago. And I actually should have been dead a long time ago, actually. Back when I was, 1992. I don't know how many years that was. Oh, I guess it's 2022. So I guess, 30 years ago, I guess I was what? No, that was more. Yeah, 30 years ago. So I guess I was about, I don't know, Lord. I was about 15, 16 years old. But like I said, I should have been dead a long time ago. We were at a friend's funeral, actually. A friend's funeral that was shot and killed. And I think it wasn't supposed to be on purpose, but that's a whole nother story. But like I said, definitely at the funeral and a big fight, all this gang fights and shooting, all this kind of stuff erupts up on Grant and Ted Foster's funeral home. And in the midst of it all, my cousin and I was trying to get back to the car. I guess I put it that way. Got to the corner of Grand, I think that's Finney. I want to say that's what that is. Right there, like at the corner of Ted, I think it's Grand and Finney. We were like right there at the curb. This car pulled up. One guy was driving, one guy was on the passenger side. The guy on the passenger side pulled out a shotgun, actually, aimed it right to my damn chest, and he fired. Actually, I heard the fire. We all heard it go off, but no bullet came out of anywhere. Actually, and he's looking at the gun, looking at himself, looking at me like, "What the hell happened? He supposed to be dead." I don't know why he was gonna try to aim at me anyway, but I'm like, I didn't even do anything. But I'm just like, what in the world? I thought I was gonna die in that moment. I heard the gunshot go off. He did too. Everybody heard the gunshot go off. Everybody was like, what the heck just happened? I was protected at that point. I should have been dead at that time. But I knew there was something else, another calling on my life that I had to, of course, carry out. And that's what I'm doing now. I knew there was another calling. I knew that. Even though I claimed I didn't believe in God, I knew there was God that held my hands that day. Or the angels that stepped in front of me and that bullet, I'm sure. I had no marks. I had no nothing. The bullet didn't even come out the gun. I guess I don't know what the heck happened. But we all heard it go off. It wasn't my time, I can tell you that. And I had more things to do, no matter what age I am, no matter what's going on in my life. I know that I always have to create something. I guess I put it that way. Recreate myself at some given moment. I can't say it's every day, but like I said, it's throughout my life. I've always done that. Regardless of what anybody else may say about it. And like I said, I had to grow into that. I can no longer sit back, and you should no longer sit back being afraid to, of course, speak your truth and speak your mind and say who you are and be who you are because of what other folks may say about you. I had a story. Yes, everybody has their own story. You have a story as well. But that story does not define you. You can always rewrite that story. There's no reason why you cannot. You have to get to a point to make that decision to become who you know that you can be. And I'm sure it's way more than what you see today. I'm sure that. For me it is. For you it is too. I'm sure that. You're not the only thing that you see today that's not always what you're going to be. You could become a hell of a lot more than that. I'm sure that. But you have to make that decision to, of course, want to do something different with your life. And not care about what everybody else has to say about it. Like I said, I was caught all kind of trying to act white, talk white, trying to be white, all this kind of stuff. Or I think I'm better than everybody else. I was trying to create a life that I could be happy with. I didn't give a damn what that, yes, it did hurt me at the time, hurt my feelings, that kind of thing, but I did not linger on that. I still was pushing forward to who I was trying to create and to the lifestyle that I wanted. Like I said, I saw all the stuff that I did not want to do growing up, and I did none of those things. I have tasted drinks. I've tasted a few in my life. Of course, like a champagne toast and stuff like that, but I don't make it my business to drink at all. I don't drink, like I said, the only time I've had like a sip or champagne or toast for New Year's or that kind of thing, that's about it. I don't smoke. I don't do it. Never did any kind of drugs, anything along those lines. I may have sold the stuff, but I didn't do it. I put it that way. But like I said, I knew the kind of person that I wanted to create. I knew that if I was doing all those things, that I would not be in my right mind in order to, of course, learn, to, of course, get on here and teach and speak and inspire the next. I knew I could not do that being high or drunk. Like I said, that was something that I had to come to grips with back when I was a kid. Back then, I said that to myself. I wasn't even in first grade yet. And I was telling myself I was not going to become what I see. And I guess that's one big hell of a manifestation, actually. Because I still don't think about it. I did not want to become anything that I saw. I said that to myself a lot. They're teaching me what I don't want to do in life. That's exactly what I should tell myself. And I've said it to some people as well. So I guess that's one big hell of a manifestation since I've created my life in that manner as I spoke it. And you can do the exact same thing as well. You have to put the actions behind those words, though. Faith without works is dead. It will never work if you have not even taken the action on anything that you're deciding to do. But the first step, like I said, is figuring out who you are. I would recommend if you all have a journal, even a notebook. I have all these notebooks, y'all. I have at least... Here's another one, actually. I have, I don't know, maybe about 10 notebooks like this. I have maybe about 4 or 5 journals. I'm always writing out my thoughts, my feelings, what I think, what I want to create, some ideas that I have, my dreams. I write out all those things. Back in the day, it was more of my triggers. Why am I upset? Why am I getting upset about this? Why do I feel this way when I want to have sex with my partner? Where's all these things coming from? I had to unravel and unlearn all those things. Those are triggers. Those are the healing processes. You have to, and forgiveness processes as well. You have to go through those things in order to figure out who you are. Those things, that sexual abuse or the domestic violence or having those kids or whatever it was, does not make you the person that you are. You make you the person that you are. Whatever gifts God gave you, make you the person that you are. I don't know that. What your exact gifts are, you know what they are. You may be pushing them down and suppressing them, but you know exactly what they are. And God wants you to go ahead and create those things. You have a purpose on this life. Your purpose, of course, raise the kids, raise your family, that kind of thing, yes. But you still got to raise yourself in the process. You're a big-ass kid, too. You still got to raise yourself in the process. God don't make any mistakes. I know that now. I'm telling you the same thing. God does not make any mistakes at all. He gave you those gifts, those purposes, those passions, whatever it is, those kids, that family, whatever it is, for a reason. Figure out the lessons in those things. Start journaling those things, writing those things down every day. All the stuff that you go through, just write it down. All the things you think about, the ideas, anything, just start writing it down. And then start going back month after month and look like, when I wrote this down, I had no idea this even happened. You will see how you think. You will start noticing your own patterns. That's how I started. I live on patterns for some reason. I notice the behavioral patterns. I know what's going on. I know not always the backstory, but I mean, you just notice all those things once you get to, of course, picking up on yourself first. I had to learn myself first with all these things first. So I know how I react. I know why I do this. I know why I do that. But you have to get to that point as well. The first thing is, of course, like I said, finding out who you are. And you have to be truthful with yourself. You don't have to tell me anything as a coach. You don't even have to come use my service. That's fine. Just take this video and do what you can with it. Because I know I'm not for everybody either. But in order for you to get started with something, you have to be truthful with yourself, not anybody else. You can start that by writing and journaling out your thoughts, your feelings, what you feel resentful about, what you're angry about, what kind of ideas you have. Start with that. That's a simple, easy way for you to start. That's where one of the ways, I love to write, so I'm always writing. But like I said, that's where I started as well. One of the ways I started. Especially when it came to figuring out why I had all these triggers and how those things were affecting my life. That was a big thing. And that's a big part of finding out who you are. Like I said, you can't move forward fully until you figure out who you are and what you're designed on this earth to do. You know what your gifts are. You know what your talents are. You know exactly what God, I'm sure, told you. I knew exactly what I was told years ago. Didn't want to listen, kept pushing this down. Oh, this ain't the truth. I don't believe in God. I don't believe in this. That ain't right. And I'm doing exactly what I said, what I was told to do a long time ago. It may not be in the manner. I don't know yet. I don't know. If it's supposed to be a minister, I have no idea. But like I said, I know I'm supposed to speak and inspire and, of course, help build and create people into leaders. I know that. I'm a change agent. I've been knowing that for years now. I will change throw out different perspectives on all kind of stuff in life and cause folks to think all the time. That's one of the gifts that I have. I knew that a long time ago. But like I said, you have to get to a point where you know yourself better than anybody else. Nobody else should know you better than you. No man, no woman, no child, nobody else but you. God will always know you better than you. But for you to be on this earth and working the path that you're working, you have to know yourself better than anybody else. Should nobody be able to come tell you who you are, anything along those lines at all? You should already know who you are after you kind of find out and start writing down, going down the path of who you are. You will start knowing those things. And nobody can step to you and tell you who they think you are. You a slut, you a hoe, you this, you that. Okay, you don't have to answer to anything. I don't care what you used to be in the past. Everybody probably was a hoe, a slut, whatever it was in the past. Okay, so what? It does not define and make you who you are. It may give you some stories to share and how to relate to other people, given the gifts that God gave you and the talents that he gave you. But that's about it. You can use those stories to help grow somebody else that you're near and help teach those lessons to hope that other folks may not go down that path. That's what you can use those for. Turn your pain into your purpose. Like I said, it all starts with knowing yourself first. I know y'all probably tired of hearing me say that, but everything that you do, from a romantic relationship to dealing with your kids, your family, your friends, your jobs, whoever it is, you have to know you first. Those folks should not be able to come tell you who you are. You should already know or be working on finding out who you are and whose you are. I had to realize that as well. I don't care what they said about me. Yes, it may hurt. Yes, I cried and that kind of thing, but oh well, I moved past it. I know that's easier for me to do probably than others, but like I said, that's the point that I've gotten to. I guess I put it that way. That's the point that I'm at. I guess I say that as well. So I'm going to go ahead and end this because I know I can talk about this for hours and hours and hours. But definitely, like I said, I want to thank you, Stephanie, for, of course, inviting me on here to, of course, talk about some things tonight. This actually wasn't all that I was going to talk about either. I had some more things written down, but that's okay. Excuse me, this is actually just number one, actually, but that's okay. But like I said, definitely I want to thank you for, of course, allowing me to come talk to your ladies. And I hope that this message, of course, Becoming Yourself, I hope that it, of course, reached at least one of your ladies this evening. And, of course, if anybody, of course, want to have any questions for me or any thoughts, comments, anything along those lines, wanting to know more information or that kind of thing, you can always send me a message DM, or you can post a comment here in the group. Miss Stephanie, of course, is bringing you all together to, of course, to be a support for one another. I'm here as a support person as well. I may be kind of new, of course, but I'm definitely here as a support as well. Being a social worker, being a coach, and being, of course, I love to bake and do all those kind of things too. Love to have fun. I'm just all over the place all the time, but sometimes. And like I said, just definitely, I'm here as a support and as you may need the help. I guess I put it that way. If there's any questions that you may have about your kids, that's my background actually as a social worker. I don't think I said that, but that is my background, children and families. I worked in the foster care system, dealing with custody, parental rights, adoptions, all types of things, the court, juvenile courts for years. And of course, working with the homeless sector as far as transitional housing programs, nonprofits, all that type of thing. Now I'm working through a home health care agency as a social worker now. But like I said, I have the gamut of all types of experiences, resources from birth to death, actually, at this point. I worked the whole entire gamut of ages. So like I said, if there's anybody out there that needs, of course, assistance and needing some more information or how to get through a situation that you're going through, you can feel free, like I said, to leave the comment down here in the group, or you can just DM me. Either, I guess, if you don't want to put it out there, you want to keep it confidential, that's fine as well. Just let me know what you're needing. I think Miss Stephanie brought me here to, of course, to be a support for her young ladies if you all need. So like I said, definitely let me know what you all are needing. If it's a topic that you want to hear, usually I'm doing videos on my own page anyway. You can definitely add me as a friend. Feel free, any of you. I don't care. Just add me anywhere. I'm Tonetta Clay, all on social media. TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, everywhere. If you want to add me on those sites, go ahead and add me. That's fine. In order to, of course, stay connected. You never know what you may hear, what video I may do that may, of course, touch you in a certain way or have a light bulb go off. You never know. Just stay connected with me if you all want to. That's fine. I know I'm not for everybody, I know, but for those who I'm for, you all know my voice, and you all know, of course, to connect with me. So like I said, I'm going to go ahead and get off here. But I just hope that you all learned something this evening from this video that you can take back with you and, of course, start implementing in your own life, especially when it comes to finding out who you are. Because if you don't know who you are, you don't know who you're trying to become. I totally believe that. And I know I'm looking at this quote that I wrote down. I didn't even talk about it, but because I didn't even get to number 2. But where there is no vision, the people will perish. And I have it written down as Proverbs 29:18. I know that without a vision, without some kind of inkling of who you want to become, you will not get to that place. You have to understand who you are first in order to, of course, create that vision for the person that you want to become, y'all. And like I said, with that, again, I'm Tonetta Clay, your certified life coach. I, of course, empower you to, of course, become who you are and, of course, inspire you to, of course, think bigger than you ever had before. So with that, I want to say thank y'all. And like I said, again, Miss Stephanie, thank you for having me on this video as well. Take care, ladies. Like I said, if you need me, like I said, reach out, either DM or comment here in the group, because I'm here in the group as well. So like I said, definitely reach out to me and let me know what you need. Take care, y'all, and I hope y'all enjoyed the video and have a great night.